you armed?
I have Mrs. Can't remember her code name. Nightingale. She was afraid of being raped. She kept a gun. I've got the gun.
Identify the armament.
It's a .45 automatic. Will you guys bring me in, please? I'm not a field agent. I just read books.
Leave the area.
All right, well, what, do I come into headquarters now?
Negative. Find a secure location.
However many chefs there are in France, there are twice that number of ways to braise meat. This is a technique. It is not a recipe. If you are cooking chicken, it is called coq au vin. If you are cooking beef, it is called beef bourguignon. Chicken you cook for 45 minutes to an hour. 2-inch squares of chuck beef, 3 hours. These are big pieces of turkey and will cook in about 2 hours. There are only a few ingredients. The meat you will braise, carrot, celery, and onion, bacon, olive oil, and butter, flour, salt, pepper, rosemary, thyme, and bay leaves, tomato paste and garlic, wine, preferably 2 bottles, one to cook with and one to drink, stock, for this, chicken stock, for beef or lamb, beef stock. To finish the sauce, mushrooms and shallots.
You're funny. You take pictures of empty streets and trees with no leaves on them.
It's winter.
Not quite winter. They look like November. Not autumn, not winter, in between.
The first step in preparing the marinade is to reduce the wine, to thicken it and boil off the alcohol. Some people skip this step, and different people use different amounts of wine. It is very common to use a whole bottle, but I like to save 1 glass. Boil the wine down by about 1/4, then cool it to room temperature using 2 bowls with cold water in the bottom bowl. Rough chop your vegetables. These will cook for a while, and it's better if they do not turn to mush, even if you will discard them at the end. When the wine is cool, add the turkey to the mirepoix and then add the wine. Work the mixture around until the meat is submerged. Use a double layer of cling wrap. Push the first layer into the edges. This will limit the amount that the wine will oxidize. Store the marinade in the refrigerator until the next day.
Don't expect too many mistakes from this man. After all, he does seem rather more interesting than just another of our reader researchers. For example, has he gone into business for himself? Was he turned around? Does someone operate him? Is he homosexual, broke, vulnerable? Could he be a soldier of fortune?
Preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Spread a few tablespoons of flour on a baking sheet and bake it for about 15 minutes. This will improve the taste of the sauce. By the time you finish getting everything else prepared, the flour will be ready. Cut the bacon and add it to the pot. Cook it low and slow. It will be cooked by the time you need the pot. Separate the marinade and dry the turkey. Get your spices and garlic ready. Just rough smash the garlic. This is all that is necessary to open it up in a braise. Flour the turkey thoroughly. Unless you like a really thick gravy, this will be more than enough flour to thicken the sauce. Season the meat with salt and pepper.
I go even further back than that. 10 years after the Great War, as we used to call it, before we knew enough to number them.
You miss that kind of action, sir?
No. I miss that kind of clarity.
When the bacon is cooked, remove it. It is common to use the bacon fat to cook the meat and vegetables, but I think it is disgusting and I don't want to eat it or have to spend time skimming it off the liquid at the end, so I remove it. Raise the heat on the pan to medium-high. Add olive oil and butter. Brown the meat and remove it. Caramelize the vegetables to bring out their sugars. Use a bit of salt to help remove the moisture. When the vegetables are heated, add the garlic, the spices, and the tomato paste. Heat the spices and the tomato paste on the bottom of the pan for about 30 seconds to open them up. Once everything is mixed, deglaze the bottom of the pan with the wine. Add the meat, the stock, and the bay leaves. The liquid should come up to the level of the meat. Bring the pot to a light boil, cover, and place in the preheated oven. Again, for these pieces of turkey, the cooking time should be about 2 hours.
Get me in, Higgins.
What good would that do? If you're right and they are inside, what good would it do to bring you in?
Oh, I get it. I get it. You expect me to draw fire. Like one of those penny arcade bears that parades back and forth, waiting for somebody. Somebody very good, just to take another shot. And you're just gonna hang around and pick him up before he does it? Or just after?
I like a clean sauce, so I prepare fresh vegetables, mushrooms, shallots, and garlic to finish the sauce. To make this kind of sauce, the braising liquid must be strained. However, many people eat the cooked vegetables, and this is very common in coq au vin, since the vegetables don't cook so long. To start the sauce, brown the mushrooms. Use a bit of salt to bring out the water. When the mushrooms are browned, add the shallots and brown them. While the sauté is cooking, reduce the braising liquid and occasionally skim the fat from the top. Last, add the fresh carrots, celery, and garlic. Cook this until caramelized. It is common to serve this dish with pasta, but many serve it with potatoes. When the vegetables are ready, add in some of the braising liquid. Reduce the sauce to your preference. When it is nearing completion, add in some of the cooked bacon and a tablespoon of cold butter.
fact is, what I do is not a bad occupation. Someone is always willing to pay.
I would find it tiring.
Oh no, it's quite restful. It's almost peaceful. No need to believe in either side or any side.
What? What did you do?
I told him a story. You play games, I told him a story.
Hey, Turner. How do you know they'll print it?
One thing to do the next day is to make another sauce using the reserved braising liquid. When it's reduced, I add in bacon and diced turkey leftovers. Lower the heat to medium-low, cover, and permit the dish to stew for about 10 minutes. I serve it over rice.